All right, welcome to our tricks class. And this is going to be a tricks and more class. So we're going to be focused on not just tricks for fun, but we're going to be doing some tricks that are for task skills. We do have a lot of service animal candidates in our program. So I wanted to give them the introduction to some of the tricks. Now, over the next 2 months, we're going to shift from, we just did scent work for the last 2 months. So now for May and June, we're going to shift over to helper dog tasks. And specifically, each week, I'm going to go through a different skill set. So in our helper dog curriculum, you've got stuff that they do with their nose, stuff that they do with their paws, stuff that they do with their mouth, and then putting it all together. So think of each week is a focus. This week's focus has to do with tasks they do with their nose. Now, I'm going to make them fun because they're going to sound like tricks, but they're also realistic things that you can work with your dog, a skill that you can work with your dog that can eventually help you if your goal is to have your dog be a service animal or a helper dog of some kind. So, title of this week's class is Helpful Tricks from Nose Taps to Real Life Task Skills. Today's goal, we're going to teach our dogs to use their nose to help them understand when I say this, I want you to do that. So this picture demonstrates some of the ways that a service animal can help when a person is having a mental breakdown, just stress, like what it looks like. Our bodies can produce extra saliva. We can definitely, crying really changes the makeup of your body's temperature and things like that. So one of the things my dog does is he now you're going to see in the videos he doesn't do it at all because of course when I want him to do it he doesn't do it. But when I'm if I'm on the toilet, if I'm on the couch, if I'm just sitting down, my dog will tap my elbow to encourage me to pet him. Does anyone's dog do that? For most of our dogs, he's like, absolutely not. But most of our dogs that love to be pet, it's one of the natural things that dogs may do. If your dog you're hoping them to be a service animal, or if you like that skill or behavior, then you're going to want to reward that by giving them those pets when they tap their nose to your body in one way or another. Okay. So we're going to actually try to teach that as a trick. So here are the things that you're going to need for class. I used a combination of different treats, very small, easy to chew so that you can get the repetitions in. You're going to see that I'm using a clicker. I'm going to keep my audio on the video so you can actually hear. I also have 8 dogs in the room. So you're going to see how I manage my space. You're going to see in my area, we have a quiet training space. I'm working in the dog room in my home, and I've got a rubber mat on the floor to give the dog a soft surface that they don't slip on. You're going to notice that Deanie and Camila do the same thing, and Melda's camera will be on soon. She's also going to be working in that area. One of the tricks I just remembered is opening up a plastic, like a container. So I actually have Bentley opening up his toy box. So grab a salad bowl, a plastic bowl, anything with a lid on it, or grab a bowl, like a salad bowl, a pretty big size bowl, and grab like a piece of cardboard so that the dog can just flip the cardboard up and take it off of the thing. Um, Other than that, maybe a sticky note, and then just something for your dog to go lay back on. Also, grab a fresh bowl of water. All right. First trick is called our warm up trick. While you guys are grabbing your stuff, let me go through our warm up. Warm up trick is called knock it. Now, this is where you present a prop of any kind. In this case, I've asked you guys to grab an empty water bottle, but this can be a deodorant little thing. It can be anything that's standing straight up. You're going to present the dog with the prop while you're in front of them and you have their attention. And then you're going to click and treat or mark, let them know, hey, you just did it, and reward them for any engagement with this prop, including just looking at it. Then repeat this over and over until you're reliably getting a behavior. Now, all we want your dog to do is actually engage with the prop. Yes, this is being recorded, so you will get a copy of the recording right after class. So you want them to engage in some way. You want them to know that when I put something down, you are to engage with it. What they do, you're going to develop a little bit later. So after you get something reliably happening every time you put the prop on the floor, then you say to yourself, I'm ready to go to the next level. The next level is to only click and treat for nose target to the prop. Once reliable there, then you're going to cue something like knock it. So here is live video of me doing this for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. Brand new, never done it before with this dog. And this is Pinot. You're also going to see how I increase difficulty. So let's just take a look at this video. Let me talk you through it.
Good boy.
Here are a couple dogs, little bit stressed about not having their turn. I'm clicking for any engagement.
Good.
There he put his mouth on it. I'm pointing to it. See, he missed it, so I'm going to try it again. He doesn't get it here, so I pick up the prop and put it back down. Boom. Mark and reward for anything. And there's a delay in the click for what you guys see, but the click precision is pretty decent here.
Yes, very good.
Notice how I gesture with my shoulders and my arms. I'm really trying to encourage the dog to engage with this item, which is a bowling pin, which Deanie has a bowling pin, of course. Okay, so now I've got some reliable movement going on, skill with that. Now I'm only going to mark and reward for the nose target. Knock it.
Good.
There's a click. I give him
boy.
3 treats there to let him know, like, you, there he does it again.
Nice.
Knock it. So there's a little helper cue
very
right
good.
there. Knock it. I still click for that because the dog is new to this, right? So even though he used his paw instead of his nose. Knock it.
Yes, very
Almost
good.
there. Another 20 seconds of this video. I advance it again. So here I'm going to ask him to lay down and give me a second while I put a little bit more. So I'm going to make this a little more difficult for him. So Deanie, you're going to get more than 1 pin out, I'm sure. All right, watch this. Here's the finale.
Free, knock it.
Yay!
Yeah, good boy, Pinot. Good boy. Good job.
All right, your turn. Melda, your camera is still off if that's able to, oh, there we go. Okay, Deanie, we need to get your camera down. Camilla, your iPad is floating, so it's in the air somewhere. There we go. It's down now. All right. Place your prop down on the floor, mark and reward for any engagement. Encouraging your dog to use their nose. Now you're not saying nose target, you're just letting the dog naturally. So this is called shaping, right? Present. Oh, good job, Bonnie. Now Deanie's standing and Bonnie's pretty tall. If she's doing it really well, that's fine. If you notice that she's a little bit like kind of hesitant, that's why I got down to the floor with Pino. And now Pino is now working with his mom, and he is like, oh yeah, I remember this. I just did this 40 seconds ago. Good. So toss a treat, Melda, and get some space. And now pick up the prop. Ask him to wait for a second. Okay, that's fine. Click for any engagement. So, Melda, you're ready to just ask for nose target. Perfect. Only click for nose target to it. Deanie, I think you're almost ready too. Camila, nice. Nice. Beautiful. That was great. So Camila's actually using something completely different. I love it. Perfect. So precision on your click, Deanie. Soon as Bonnie's nose goes for it, click. Otherwise, she might think, oh, do I put my mouth on it? Good. Melda's getting distracted by Pino's picking up toys from the toy box. So she's going to cover that up and manage that little situation. Perfect. Very good. Now, the goal is not to get all the way through. You don't have to. Perfect. So, Deanie, you're going to mark and reward for that, even though that was not nose. That was just, we're just shaping something. Okay. So, I love that skill. She is knocking down both of them, but she's using her paws. All right, Melda, you're ready to put up 2 or 3 pins. Let's go ahead and make this a little more challenging. You can increase the distance. You can add more pins if you're using bowling pins, which I love that you are. And let's do 1 more minute of warm up. Common key for this, if your dog's behavior is knocking it with their nose, we call this knock it. Good. Ask your dog to sit or wait. Melda, now put up 4 pins. Good. Bonnie, beautiful. All right, Camila's got distractions and adding multiple things. Very good. Okay, Melda's going to add more space. Bonnie, Deanie, let's do that for Bonnie. Let's add more space to those pins and see if she can go from one to the other if they're not right next to each other. Yeah, just like that. See if they can go through and knock each one down. Yeah, good job, Bonnie. Good job, Monty. Good. So right now, if you are cueing each one, knock it, knock it, knock it, knock it. You have 4 pins. Your goal is to get to just saying one cue and they knock all 4 pins down. Okay, one more rep, Melda. All right, finish up wherever you're at. Good finish there with Bonnie. Great with Monty. Monty looks so happy, that happy tail. All right, let's put your pins away so that they don't come, so that they continue to be pretty valuable. So that was pretty good. We had Camila, you'll watch in the recording, is using a stuffed, pretty big size stuffed animal, and Monty's definitely nosing it, right? Same with Deanie was getting a lot of this with Bonnie, but then I saw a little bit of other things. I would just say because we're just shaping it, you know, all 3 dogs executed that first skill very, very well. So let's move on to the next one. All right. So next is just basic nose target to hand, teaching it from scratch, making sure that you have a clear cue. When I say this, you do that. So We're asking for the dog to present their nose to whatever object you present to them after the cue. So let me say it again. Your dog is to present their nose to whatever you give them after you say the cue. So the hand is what we're going to use for this next skill, but you can also replace it with your cell phone or something like that. Just make sure that the cue happens first before you give them the thing that you want them to do. So I'm just going to read these steps real quick, and then we're going to go right to the video lesson that I have real quick with a little pup here that's actually in the crate right above Melda. So present your open hand close to your dog's nose. When your dog looks or moves towards the hand, you're going to mark and reward. Repeat it till your dog is intentionally touching your hand with their nose. Add the cue such as touch, and then start to move your hand slightly left or right. So let's just check and see. So here I'm presenting 2 to 4 inches away from his nose. I'm waiting for him to eat his treat. And there I am clicking just because he went for it. So you're starting off with a brand new dog or a dog that doesn't have this skill. Start off really slow. I'm clicking for movement, not actual contact yet. And yeah, there's a big, huge delay in the video, but you want to click for forward movement. Now watch his left paw come up like that. That indicates a stress signal of, I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. Now, do you see that where he punched his nose pretty hard as if he could open up a lid? That was because he started feeling confident. I like if the dog is in a standing position versus a sitting position. I'm going to get a stronger nose target to my hand.
Touch. Touch.
Now I'm adding a little bit of movement. Again, so we're getting a little bit more force with that nose.
Touch.
Now, if you can get them really moving, going left and right, you're going to see more force, more pressure. Now I'm going to make this a little more challenging.
Touch. Touch.
By asking for 2 touches before I click and treat. So timing is everything here.
Touch. Touch. Yes. Good boy. Good boy, Jordan.
All right, your turn. So nose target to hand, clear cue, such as touch, and then present your hand. And then you're going to ask for 2 touches and possibly 3, all the way up to 4 or 5 touches. But your precision on your cues need to be right there. We're going to have this. This is going to be a real short, but maybe like a minute and a half. Nice. Camila, that's not Monty, right? Because I can't see the body. Is it Monty? No, it's not Monty. Okay.
No, it is Monty. Monty's just been, we are halfway through the shaving. He gets
Oh,
very stressed. That's why he looks like an Afghan hound. Yeah, it's
he
Monty.
does. I was like, oh, is that
yeah.
your other dog? I can't tell.
No. It's like he gets very stressed, so we have to do it in
Oh,
parts.
okay.
So yeah,
That's
we through
cute.
the first part. I know it looks weird. It looks like Afghan hound puppy. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Looks cute. Yeah. So Melda, because your dog, Pino, is exuding like some energy and it looks like jumping and can be like frustrating, you're going to keep your hand a little lower and move your hand slower to your spot versus quick. If you want a higher energy like Deanie for Bonnie, I would present my hand a little faster and higher pitch. Good girl, good boy. So lower if you want them to be a little more calm and not bite your hand off, and higher if you want a little bit more energy. So your voice, go ahead and keep going. Got another 45 seconds here. Touch. So we've got Monty going on to 4 or 5 touches for every click and treat. Present your hand like a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. So go ahead and a big lunge, Melda, to your right, and now to your left. So it's touch, click. I mean, no clicks. Touch, touch, click, treat. Nice, Deanie. That was more exciting. Now try to use alternate hands. You're going to quickly throw your clicker to the other hand. There you go, Deanie. Yeah, if you are using a clicker, it is a little bit of a toss from one hand to the other. That's it, Melda. Another 20 seconds here. This is a pretty easy one, but we want a reliable nose target to hand. Love it. All right, give your dog the all done cue. And let's move on to skill number 2, say hello. This is a say hello using a nose tap. Now, this is a cute, gentle trick that also teaches controlled social engagement for those dogs that are shy, nervous, overreactive. It can help dogs learn how to greet without jumping, pawing, or getting overly excited. Here are your steps. Hold your hand out and cue your touch, just like you did just a few seconds ago. Mark for each nose tap to your hand. Do 1 or 2 repetitions, and then either ask someone for help that your dog loves and knows, and ask them to present their hand like they're doing a greeting, and then you're going to cue your dog to tap their nose. Oh, tap their hand with their nose. Oh my goodness. Tap the person's hand with the dog's nose and then point to their hand. Fade out your hand point and put a new cue, such as go say hi. Now, I did not have an additional person, so here I'm using a teddy bear. And then I used a sticky note to help transfer nose target to the teddy bear. So watch this as I do this with Stuart. So touch, click, treat.
Touch. Touch.
After a few repetitions with the entire notepad, I move closer to the teddy bear. Okay. Now my goal is to get him to do this to the teddy bear. So I'm going to take that same nose target to the sticky note and start to bring that sticky note closer to the object that I want him to nose tap. So notice I'm low to the ground. That's the second repetition closer to the teddy bear. Here's number 3, and I'm marking for any engagement. Now I'm having him watch, see him watch as I put that sticky note on the teddy bear's hand. And I click for that even though it's not his nose because he engaged with it. So that's my first. There, now he wants to kill the teddy bear, but that's okay. So I go back to adding more precision. Now I put my hand there so I can get his nose instead of his paw. So that's scaling up and down. There I go back to pointing. He now kills the teddy bear with his paw. Perfect. Now that was a nose tap and a step.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Now he's doing both, but I'm okay with that.
Go say hi. Go say hi.
And I'm giving him a little bit of helper by using a hand gesture. So watch very closely, Melda, because that's kind of what you're going to do with Pino.
Touch. Nice. Say hi.
I'll take that.
Go say hi.
Now, Stuart is a nervous dog with new people. So this is exactly what we would want to do with a dog like this. And that was a perfect nose target. Did you see what I did, Camila? I lifted the teddy bear up to his nose level. There it is. So go say hi and point.
Nice. Good
All
boy.
right, your turn. So nose target to hand. Oh my gosh, you have a teddy bear, Camilo. So cute. Deanie's got a teddy bear. Use the chair just to hold the teddy bear in place on the floor. Perfect. Okay, that was good, Deanie. I mean, you could shape it if you wanted. You don't have to do it the way that I taught it. Same thing. Melda's holding the teddy bear on her leg. That's a good one. And you're just at that's perfect. So imagine doing nose target a few times, Melda, and then gradually, since you've been doing nose target, he might just do it right after you say touch and you point to it. Oh, you've got the sticky note on there still. Perfect. Oh, good job. That was a great target. So, Deanie, perhaps you use your right hand and place the back of your right hand on the teddy bear and encourage a touch. The other, yep, palm facing Bonnie. That's kind of how I would do it. You may not need the sticky note for this. You might be able to just use the back of your hand. Yep, just like that. Now put the sticky note back behind your back, Deanie. Perfect. Beautiful, Monty. You have a life-size teddy bear. Incredible. We all need a life-size teddy bear. And Deanie's bear looks evil. It's like blue or something. Good. So Melda, you're gonna click sooner before Pino opens his mouth. So a sooner click was gonna give you more of a nose instead of the mouth because he is trying to put his mouth on it, and then he gets frustrated and puts his paw on it. Beautiful, Bonnie. Monty's got this. Go say hi and point. Perfect. Good work. Good. So Melda's now holding her teddy bear a little higher, right at dog nose level, because Pino was offering a paw and his teeth. So we're getting a little more what we call precision. Oh, that's it. Good job, Bonnie. All right, just another few seconds, and then we're going to shift over to a little break. Yay. Last one. All right. So let's take a break from nose target and we're going to go into sustained nose target. And that's actually a little more concentration. And then the one after that, they've never done before, and that's the elbow tap. So let's shift over to just doing something completely different. I am going to I can't play music because then YouTube and Facebook all kind of like shut that down. So just pretend there's music on and for 2 minutes do anything except nose target. So spin, boing, peekaboo, anything but nose target to hand. All right, 2 minutes on the clock and play. Little more high energy, get the wiggles out. Yeah. Woo, good jobs there. Mark and reward. Okay, shift to something else. Good middle there. Spins. Peekaboo. Bonnie's going to dance, I'm sure. She's going to flip. Good. If you spin left, make sure you spin right. Maybe paw target, can, paw target to your paws, paw target to your feet. Beautiful spin. Catch it. Good boy from Monty. All right, 45 seconds to go. 2 minutes is a long time. You could do a lot of tricks in 2 minutes. All right, last 20 seconds here. Oh, little secret there from Pinot. Yes. All right. Finish up wherever you're at. Give your dog the all done cue. Make sure you have some fresh water for your dog. Way to go. Give them some extra love. Clear out your space because the next two are a little more challenging. A lot of dogs struggle actually with the next two, but we're going to go into skill number 3. This is called a sustained nose target. And from scent work, we didn't get quite to it, but a sustained nose target is something that they would use in like you found it. So it can be an indicator cue. A sustained nose target can become a calm focus skill, a body positioning skill, or just a foundation for a helpful task. We used it last year in cooperative care, asking the dog to hold a position while we injected we tend to inject in the hips and stuff like a blood draw. So sustained nose target is very, very useful, but it's challenging to kind of get. So one option, and you're going to see me actually do something completely different than the steps I wrote down, is cue your dog to touch your hand and delay your marker. So don't click right away because what'll happen is your dog will punch it again. They're going to touch your hand again with their nose, and it's that second time that you're going to click. All right. Mark and treat while the nose is still touching if possible. So I don't do that right at the beginning of this next video, but you'll see that I start to reward on the hand that I'm asking my dog to put his nose on. And then what my dog has, and I think Monty and Bonnie have, is a freeze, right? You'll ask them to just, oh, stop, freeze. And I call this hold because I accidentally cued it that way and it's always just kind of stuck. But it just means wait or freeze. So here is again, live video of me working with my dogs. Let's see, am I sharing? I am sharing. So I'm clicking for any engagement with the hand at first. So now I'm delaying. I'm not clicking right away. I'm actually waiting for at least like a quarter of a second after he hits it. And now after I click, I put the treat back in the hand that I wanted him to touch to get some more duration of his nose on my hand while he's feeding. And you saw that little delay there, that little freeze. So I want you to try that, Dean. You're going to just kind of hold your hand there before you click and see if she offers it again.
Hold. Nice. Touch, hold.
I'm also cupping my hand so it's not flat. It's kind of like I'm holding a little bit of water in my hand. So cup your hand versus putting it flat. And that'll give you that deeper sustained nose target. Now, when I don't get a movement right away, you'll see that I remove my hand and I put it right back up there to just kind of say it's this right here. Now we're getting more of a freeze. And he has up to 5 seconds, and that's your goal. 5 seconds, sustained nose target. Well, there's a huge delay on my end. Okay, guys, let's just give it a try. So you have two options there. You can have a wait freeze, or you can just start off with nose target and delay your click till you get that second tap. So Mel, get down all the way on the floor and present your hand parallel to the floor with a cup. Go ahead and get on the rubber so that your knees are protected. And cup your hand. Good. Camila, you're going to say your cue first, wait 1 second, and then present your hand because you're saying it and you're presenting your hand all at the same time. Nice, Team Bonnie. That was great. She did two good little nose taps there. Beautiful. Okay, Deanie, this next one, after you click, keep your hand there, but feed the food with the hand that's got the clicker. Feed the food to the hand, the nose tap hand. I know that sounds weird, but oh, Monty, that was great. Did you use a freeze? I think you did. Oh, that was like 2 or 3 seconds already. Nice work. Oh, there's 3 taps from Bonnie. Remember, Teeny, to keep your hand there. Keep your hand there. Now feed the hand. Yeah. Take that treat and put it onto the nose tap hand and let her eat it from there. There we go. See how her nose is touching your hand? There you go. That's what I want. Good. Melda, slow down your hand. So say your cue, take a deep breath, and then present your hand. He's too fast. So we're going to slow him down. Perfect. Now, Melda, don't click on that first nose tap. When he doesn't hear a click, he's going to do it again. On that second nose tap, you're going to click. Yeah. Do that again. Good. Now, Deanie, after she eats the treat, put your hand away. Yep. Say your cue and then present the hand again. Perfect. Okay, Melda, keep your hand nice and still. Okay, Melda, here's your next one. After you click, keep your hand there and put the treat into your nose tap hand and let him eat the treat out of that hand. Okay. Your hand would have stayed there. See how you moved your, yeah. Keep your hand there, but your other hand gives the treat to that hand. I know, my words. All right, 20 seconds here. We've got 2 more skills. Very good. Keep your hand there, Melda. That's it, Deanie. You almost have it. Monty's got it. Monty's probably got a 5-second one. Perfect. And then Camilla, you can make that harder by presenting your hand in different spots, going a little bit left, a little bit right. Yes, there it is. That was perfect with Pino or a Stewart. All right, finish up wherever you're at. Deanie, I think you've almost got it with Bonnie. Well done. I am so impressed. You know that we've tried this so many times over the years and we have not been able to get the sustained nose target. So well done, guys. All right, give them the all done cue. All right, let's go to the next two. Last two skills. Nose tap to elbow for grounding support. So for several service animal candidates, a nose tap to the elbow can become a helpful grounding behavior. It actually encourages you or the person to just kind of get out of their head and start petting their dog, which can change and distract you enough for you to go, you know what? I'm okay, you know? So it's an excellent way to just kind of shift your mind. So it's also just a cute little trick. What we're looking for is that the dog, it taps you on the elbow. So you're going to see me teach this from scratch. Even though Bandit has it naturally, I didn't get that. I had to try to teach it from scratch and it was very challenging. So here's what I did. I got all the way down on the floor. I did a couple hand targets to him, which he doesn't have a very good hand target to nose, but he loves pushing my elbow when he really wants me to pet him. Then I place my hand across my body with my palm facing the dog on my elbow. I know that sounded very weird, but you're going to see it in just a second. Then I gradually fade the hand so the dog targets the elbow directly, and then I reward generously for any engagement with that elbow. So here's what it looks like. So first, look at my elbow. I'm rewarding for no reason over my elbow. So that was 3 treats. There's my nose target. So try to position your body like that and see if you can get that nose target to hand.
Touch.
See, my elbow is right behind my hand.
Touch.
Now I bring my hand lower below my elbow. So eventually he can nudge me.
Touch.
That's Stuart.
Touch. Touch.
There's the tap.
Touch.
And I didn't get anything, so I'm going to reward
Touch.
him right on my elbow, just like we did for Bonnie. Reward with your hand for nose. We're doing it on the elbow. So I am bringing the treat right above my elbow to get him to eat right next to my elbow. Now I pet my dog and then I present my elbow. I pet him, I present my elbow, I tap my elbow. He's like, I don't know what you're asking for. I tap again. He gives me a little bit of a paw. I go ahead and just reward that. So see that, Bonnie? I mean, Deanie? Very good. There's a nose tap. Finally, he nose taps the elbow. And then I reward with pets. And then he's confused again. Okay. So give that a try. You're looking for anything close to that. So start by getting in position and reward your dog right over your elbow. I know it's weird body position, but yep. Keep your elbow in place with your one arm and then reward. Cross your hand and reward with your dog's mouth right over your elbow at first. Do that 3 or 4 times and then start your nose target to your hand, placing the back of your hand on the opposite elbow. Camila, use your hand. Just put your hand on the back of your elbow. That's it, Mel. Mel's good job. Good. So, Deanie, say your nose target to hand. Yep. Back of your hand on your elbow. Good. And reward above the elbow, Deanie. That's it. Cute. Okay, Deanie, you're going to position your hand for your target now below your elbow instead of over your elbow. And that's so she learns to nudge it You want them to push your elbow up. Nudge, give you a little nudge. Stuart's going to just knock Milda over. Watch your face, Milda. So what this would look like is if you had both hands over your eyes and you were crying or stressed, kind of thing. Your hands would be covering your face and your elbow would be the thing closest to your dog. So they're going to nudge you until you move your hands and start petting them. Pretty cool. All right. Just a few more seconds here, and then we're going to move on to our final trick. When you're done with your last repetition. All right, give them the all done cue. And let's put it all together. Let's go into skill number 5, open the bucket with your nose. So this one you can go back to using a sticky note or target on the bucket lid. I mean, honestly, you guys, I don't think you're going to need to use a sticky note. The dogs get it. Okay, you want them to use their nose. So this turns the nose target into an object interaction trick. It also builds problem solving and confidence around novel objects like a lid. So option to place a sticky note or target on the bucket lid, cue a touch, point to it, slightly loosen or tilt the lid so the nose tap creates movement. Then mark any movement of the lid and then shape towards opening the bucket. So here's Mr. Bentley.
Touch.
I'm going to do nose target to hand a few times over the lid of the toy box.
Touch.
I'm now going to open the lid
Touch.
and place the back of my hand on the lid or near the lid. Just did this with your elbow, guys. It's the same thing, just an object behind it. Okay, so that's that big, huge push.
Touch.
Just like we did on knock it at the very beginning as your warm-up, they're knocking it over. Same concept, but this time the lid goes flying off.
Touch.
This can be a cardboard box lid. It can be a towel. Does not have to be something scary like this. If your dog does do this repetition,
Touch.
generously reward them. Verbal praise. Good job.
Nice.
Bentley is really good at this. And now I close it and make it even harder. So you're getting a double nose tap to the lid by now.
Open.
All right, I think you guys get the concept. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Last trick today, open the bucket. So we call this open, is a cue that I use. Good, so Deanie's actually gonna take the lid. That's smart. Take the lid and present it to Bonnie and ask for a nose target to the lid. And then bring the lid over the container. I love it. It's another way to teach it. Good. Go ahead and open the doors, open the toy box lid, Melda. And now place the back of your hand. Toss a treat first because you're going to get them to drive towards you. The other way, towards me. Okay, ready? Touch. Good. The back of your hand is going to be touching that open lid. And so when he touches, the lid's going to fall off. Correct. Monty's like, good job. That's okay, Deanie. Mark and reward for that. Good. Now, you physically, Melda, knock the toy box cover off the toy box after he touches. So he thinks he did it. So toss a treat so you can get him to move towards you. Ready? Yes, reward right there. Look at that tail wag. So that wasn't scary to him. Toss the treat again, get ready to go again. So to create that big, huge push, toss a treat towards me. And then the next time you're going to get them to run towards your hand. And that's going to give you that really strong push to open that bucket. Nice. All right, Melda, you're ready to point instead. Open the lid slightly. Ooh, good job. That's a jackpot for me, Mark. And reward. And then toss the treat towards the camera. Get ready. You're going to say it and point. Point to the toy box. Go back to using the back of your hand.
What's the cue?
Open.
Open.
I thought I heard you saying it. Open. Yeah. 30 seconds to go. Nice job. So big, huge push. You want them to push and knock it all over. Then get them to run towards it. So toss the treat. And as they're running back towards you, say it quickly. Yes. Even if even if the bucket lid does not come flying, if they touch it with their nose, mark and reward. It just means the precision of their nose. So Melda, he needs to tap that bucket a little bit higher, right? On the lid. Good. Just a few more seconds here. Good. Nice. So cute. All right, guys, give your dog the all done cue. Here is your practice plan for the week. So your practice goal this week is to do 10 nose targets to hand, 5 say hello nose taps to a person's hand, 5 sustained nose targets, 5 elbow targets, and 3 short bucket practice sessions. This week is all about finishing up the understanding of like gentle communication with nose target to your hand, the object, because next week we're going to shift right over to the paw. Third week, we're going to do mouth. So if you want to take your cameras out and take a quick photo of that, I'll also drop a link to that picture in the messenger group. And then since you guys are scheduled for this class, you'll have a video recording sent to you in an email. All right. So that is it for class. You guys enjoy. And with the recording, you can watch a little bit later. Make sure to push pause and all that stuff. But we'll see you next week for the same class, same time, but different skill set. All right. We will talk to you later.